What's up, y'all? It's your boy eBay Fight Predictions in the building, and I'll be breaking down Deiveson Figueiredo versus Brandon Moreno. I am so hyped for this fight. I'm probably a little more hyped for the Ferguson fight versus Oliveira, but this one's a great fight. It's a title fight. It's the fight we should have got at 255, but we're getting it now, and I think that's awesome. But yeah, let's look at these stats though. Deiveson comes in 21. He's the champion of this division, obviously. Fights out of Brazil, age 32, height of 5'5" and a reach 68. Moreno is the number one flyweight contender in the world. I don't care what I don't care what Tapology says. I don't care if he's number two to them. I do not care. He's 18-5-1. He has a draw on his record. Fights out of Mexico. Age 27. Height 5'7", so he does have the height advantage, and a reach of 70. He does have the reach advantage, which is interesting. But let's look at these guys' records and what they've accomplished, and like notable wins. And man, like it's kind of hard to say what's like a notable win. But I mean, dude, what he did to Joseph Benavidez, I mean that's probably his greatest accomplishment. But even like before, like I kind of like really the first I kind of noticed him was when he killed John Moraga with that body punch, and I mean that was destruction. And then he had his one hiccup in the UFC, and I think his only hiccup was against Juicer Formiga. I think Formiga just figured him out, knew what he needed to do against him, and played it smart and had a really good game plan that I feel like every fighter should follow. This is the game plan to beat Deiveson. It's only worked, and I think he that's what you got to do. Then he destroyed. Well, that was a great fight actually. I won't say he destroyed Potanja. That was just an awesome fight, and then took out Tim Elliott quick, and then I said it. His fights over Joseph Benavidez was both of them were destruction, especially that second one. That second one was just mean. It was like he was punishing Joseph for making all them excuses about the fucking about the headbutt. I almost forgot. It felt like I got headbutt for a second. But and then his last one against Alex Perez was just art. It was art. It really was. Like I was just so impressed. I know Aljamain Sterling made a big deal about the cage grabs, or the fence grabs, or whatever you want to call them. But I thought he was just he just he's just a switched on fighter. Like, you cannot make mistakes with him in the first or the second round. You just have to be perfect. But sometimes that's not good enough, and he will catch you. And it's just I don't know. It's so weird, man. Like the way he fights, bro. He has his jab hand super low, but he keeps that right like this, man. And it's just nuts, bro. Like he just shows you the right. He's like, I'm gonna hit you with this, and it's coming, but you can't do nothing about it. And it's wild. And even if you try to take him down, he is a lethal guard game. But Moreno is no fucking spring chicken. He is tough as they come. He's a dog in there. Man, nothing but respect. But you look at what he's accomplished throughout his whole entire career. I know, even when he was on Tough, man, he had one of those fights on Tough against Potanja. Potanja was the number one seed. He was the 16th seed, and it was just really crazy how, how well he did in that fight. It was really insane, and obviously he ended up getting submitted in the second round. But it was like, wow, like he has something special. Then he goes, beats Louis Smolka, beats Ryan Benoit, and Dustin Ortiz, and those were three good wins. But it was almost like they were kind of pushing him too much, and that's how I felt when this first happened. And then they signed him to fight Sergio Pettis. Now, obviously, Sergio at the time, it's like you can't really say that Sergio, he might have got that treatment too because his last name. But I just felt like Moreno shouldn't have been there with him, and Moreno just reminded me so much of how kind of Royval fought a little bit back. Well, not back in the day, but back in the day for Moreno. But Royval now, like it's kind of, you look at, there's like a little, like, there's similarities to how they fight, and it was really interesting. It was just almost like it was like a little bit of nostalgia, almost like you're just watching. I was like, oh, that's interesting. And Sergio just kind of like he was able to take all the crazy pressure and crazy like kind of looping striking that Moreno used to have to set up his takedowns. He used to throw those looping hooks, and those looping hooks are kind of good. If you want to set up your takedown, you want to set up that gable grip. Like for a double leg or a single leg. It's pretty good. But Sergio, he took him out. It was a pretty good fight. I think a 5 rounder. But yeah, it was a good one. Then he fought Potanja again in a rematch, and Potanja, man, this one was way worse than the first one. The first one was competitive, and it was like, oh my god, Moreno might win that. But it's so weird, man. That rematch always gets guys, man. The rematch is so hard to overcome. But it is what it is. Potanja just put it on him, just beat him up, and and that's where you kind of saw the end of the looping, looping style, like looping hooks to takedown kind of style, if you get what I'm saying. And he just got punished. Potanja just used straighter shots, used well-timed takedowns, and just kind of he won the fight, and he won it the right way. Just he did a lot of good things, but. And then he had his draw with Oscar. Oscar, I kind of thought he won that fight. That's just my humble opinion. But one of his, in my opinion, where I saw this breakout performance from him was against Kai Kara-France, y'all. Like, he looked so good in there. Like, I was so shocked how good he looked against Kai Kara-France. His boxing looked crisp. He didn't do a lot of unnecessary things. He walked him down. He put it on. He said he was going to make Kai Kara-France tired, but I didn't know if I believed him, but he put it on him in the third. And you could just see him just staring. There's this little thing where he's like this, where he's like, like that, and he's just staring Kai Kara-France and just walking him down and putting it on him, just putting that, like, just that Mexican pressure, man. Like, it's real, man. It's not fake. But and I was so super impressed with that. And then Jussier Formiga, obviously, he was just better in the pocket. Jussier could not do anything with this kid. He was just so active, and he was better in the pocket. And you always would catch him with that. Either it was that overhand right or the straight right down the pipe. All he had to do was just dip his head from the center line, and he got him like every fucking time. But in my opinion, I think the performance that set people straight, let motherfuckers know that he ain't going nowhere, was against Brandon Royval. I was just kind of like, I liked Royval's rise through the company was really interesting. He was, part of that fucking, that Rona era, and just guys getting opportunities. And he was a good kid, man. He had a great fight with, I think, Casey Kenny. Where was that? That was in, let me check where that was at. LFA. That was an awesome fight, and he looked decent. But I just was really shocked that I seen a lot of people were gonna pick Royval. Like, I seen that, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's not a bad pick. It's just like, you're not putting into consideration that this guy Moreno has just been grinding his whole entire career, and he got, I wouldn't say shafted or kind of done dirty in terms of who's getting the call up for the title fight. But I do honestly feel like he should have fought for the title. And you think he's gonna let this young kid do this to him and take everything he's worked for? And obviously, I think Moreno saw a lot of himself from Royval, and I think he just put it on him, and he just knew what he needed to do, just pressure, and he was picking him up, slamming him like he was a nobody. He was like bro. It is what it is. I liked what Royval did to that little boy, and he put it on him, and it is what it is. At the end of the day, I think that was, in my humble opinion, it was just one of the moments like, hey, there's levels to this shit, that kind of moment. But yeah, let's get to this, to this fight and how I can see this playing out. All respect to Moreno, and I did the same thing with Perez, man. I really thought Perez had a good chance, and I think Moreno has a great chance. And he's grinded his way throughout this whole entire run in the UFC, and he's worked for everything. If I'm gonna really, really look at it, here's how I gotta look at it. I think Moreno, honest, I've said this before, he has to look at the Formiga fight. I think that's the only way you can really beat Deiveson, man. And this is what makes this fight great. They both have wins over opponents that the other has losses to, Deiveson has a win over Potanja, and Potanja has a win over Moreno. And Moreno has a win over Formiga, and Formiga has a win over Deiveson. That's what makes this fight great. But I think for Moreno to really win, he has to use well-timed takedowns, and he has that, and striking and all that, and his jiu-jitsu has to be really good. And Formiga had a great jiu-jitsu game, so he didn't really get caught with anything from Deiveson. And Moreno does a lot, I think, grappling terms. I've seen it on his Tapology thing. He's been doing some grappling bouts, but like, for Moreno to really win, he just has to get him tired. I would like to see what Figgy can do after 2 rounds. It's been looking like he showed against Potanja that he can. I feel like he's one of those guys that, like, almost like Jose Aldo-esque, like he can put a beating on you right? And if he's dominant, he can do 5 rounds, but he has to be dominant. I don't feel like if there's like adversity or if there's like a back and forth, he can come back from that. That was always the thing with Jose Aldo. I know his fight against Chad Mendes might go against. I know he had that great 5th round, but Chad Mendes has no gas tank. He always gasses, so it's like it's like who you doing that against. But for Figueiredo, or no, back to Moreno. I think Moreno, that's really what he has to do, and he has to tire him out, and he has to gas him out, and he has to show that Mexican heart and just be a warrior in there and just don't give up. Really, that's all I can really say for him. I don't think he can stop him on the feet, and I don't think he can submit him. He could try, but I think a wrestling heavy game plan is he's gonna have to take him down and keep him there for maybe a minute. He's gonna have to be really, really smart if he wants to win this fight. And Figueiredo, like, he can honestly win this fight anywhere. That's what makes him super dangerous. He can win it on the ground, on the feet. But really, obviously, these holes haven't showed in Moreno's game recently. But like, those holes are still there. He's super. He likes to throw loopy shots. Like, he hasn't done it in a minute, but he does like to throw loopy shots. And if Figueiredo can just get one well-timed counter, and I think he can probably knock him down and submit him. Moreno's tough, though. That's the thing. He's tough. So I can see this going. I think Deiveson knocks him down, or what Deiveson needs to do is knock him down, hurt on him, pound on him, and just get a submission. And I'm feeling a 2nd round sub, if I'm being honest. I just think Deiveson's just been on fire. But if there's ever been a guy in the flyweight division that can cause this upset, I don't see an Oscar Askarov. I don't see in any of those guys. If I look at the division right now, let me look at this. Yeah, I don't see it in Alex Perez or Potanja or Rival or France. Like a lot of these guys, David Dvorak, like a lot of these guys are too low. Tyson, like, no, I don't see none of these guys do it. The only guy I really see is Brandon Moreno, and I think he has the best chance, but I think Figgy takes this one. Yeah, I'm going 2nd round sub. I think he knocks him down bad, and then he lynches up submission, a rear naked choke. Yeah, probably rear naked choke, and he gets him out of there quick, man. I think Figueiredo is a monster. I really do, and I think he is just, oh man, he is just showing the world he's a problem. Unless there's just one durable guy that can really put it on and just replicate that Formiga performance. There are, like, I feel like every flyweight has the potential to do that. I just don't see that in some of these cats, And Moreno, I think, has the best chance, but I just am not compelled to go with Moreno over Deiveson. I just think Deiveson he's on a warpath, man. I don't know. He just has this energy about him that it's just like, it seems unstoppable right now. But it is what it is. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'm gonna be obviously leaving, but don't forget to follow my Twitter and my Instagram, and go click the notification button. Some people are saying they're not getting my notifications. Make sure to click that. And yeah, I think that's it. Hope you guys had a wonderful day. I love y'all, and goodbye, and see y'all.